Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Socci and welcome to my calligraphy class. The alphabet that we're going to talk about and learn today is the Uncial alphabet. Before we start talking a little bit more about the alphabet, let me give you some items that you're going to be needing, a material list. We have a legal pad, preferably wide ruled. You're going to be needing a guide sheet. Now all this is vertical lines. They're at 90 degrees to the horizontal line. They do not slope to the right like the italic. These are straight at a 90 degree to your writing line. You're going to be needing a plastic sheet to go over that. That way when you're practicing, you don't mess up your pages. And before I start talking a little bit more about this alphabet and its proportions, let me give credit to Don Kuntz. He was my art professor at Queens College. Took many calligraphy classes with him, and he also was a professor of art at Cooper Union. So you're getting pretty close to a true, not pretty close, this is a true alphabet to the Uncial script that was written in the 5th and 8th century. Okay. So before we start writing, I'm going to have to explain some of the qualities of the Uncial alphabet. In this video, we're going to discuss the pen angles, the proportions, and so forth. And there'll be a follow-up video, second video on Uncial, and I'll show you how to write each letter individually, where to put the strokes and so on. But for this first video, let's discuss the proportions and pen angle of the alphabet. So, like any other alphabet, the Uncial has its own proportions. And if you look at the chart here, you're going to notice these two little squares. So they represent the width of the instrument you're using. In this case, it's a 3mm marker or nib. So there's 2 units for the top, 5 units for the middle, and 2 units for the bottom. In addition to that, you should note the pen angle that you're going to be holding your nib marker at, and that's going to be 30 degrees to your horizontal line. Now, if you want a refresher, you should look back at one of my first videos on Joseph Socci calligraphy, italic calligraphy, and I go into deeper detail on all these, how to rule the paper, the amount of squares, what they mean, and your pen angle. So that would be a good refresher course for you to look at. But I'll discuss this a little bit more in detail as we go along. All right, so we have the 2 for the top, 5 for the middle, 2 for the bottom, and a 30-degree pen angle. In addition to the proportions and the pen angle of the alphabet, we're going to give you a little review on the name of these lines, because once I start the second video and I start referring to go to the ascender line, descender line, and so forth, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it can get confusing. Believe me, I get confused myself. So, but it becomes secondhand, all right? Let's go from on your legal pad, since that's where you are going to be practicing from, unless you're going to rule the paper, but even then, the line is the line. The first line on your legal pad is your ascender line. That'll be this line here. The next line down is called this is for the Uncial now, is the waistline. Remember, every alphabet has different variations of these lines. The third line down is your middle or branching line. Okay? And that's very important too, because as I discuss these individual letters, you'll know where to branch off, where the middle is, and so on. The next line down is your writing line on your legal pad, right? And that's right at the base of your the beginning of your fifth nib marker. And then the next line down is your descender line. But if you have one sentence, that's fine. It's just the descender line. But if chances are you're going to do more than one sentence, then this line, along with being the descender line, becomes the ascender line also for the next sentence. That being said, we'll give you some more information in a bit. Like any other alphabet that I do, I like to break down the alphabet into family groups. So, with the Uncial, I broke it down into what I call the oval or round group, and those letters are C, D, E, G, and O. Then we have a semi or half round, basically, and that would be the H, the P, the Q, the T. And then I have a partially oval group, just parts of the letter are a little bit oval. And that would be the B, the K, the R, the F part here, the S, parts of the M. Okay. The next group of letters that I put down here is what I consider mostly vertical or vertical group, and they are the I, the J, the N, the T, the U, the L. The next group would be what I would call the odds, and like everything else, there's always an odd end thing that does not fit with the rest, and you have the A, the V, the W, the X, Y, is another variation of the Y, and the Z. So hope to see you at my next class of the Uncial alphabet, where I'm going to show you how to do each letter individually, where to put the stroke and so forth, and we'll decorate some of the letters on what we would call, eventually became Irish Uncial, which was more decorative, but this is the base of all the Uncials. From this, all the other Uncials that are around were based on this particular alphabet of the Uncial. So see you then. And again, try to look at some of the other videos that I did. That way you can get a better understanding of the proportions and how to use the pen and so forth. So see you soon. Bye now.